Hello.
Hello, y'all.
How is everyone? Okay, great. Hey, let's see. Lori, LFT, Crazy Mama, Karen Waring. Hey, how are you?
Karen.
Bitchbot. There you are, Bitchbot.
Bitchbot working.
Bitchbot. Hey, Mark. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is 2 for Tuesday. We are trying to take 2 from Saturday's very eventful, yet nothing was shown live. Hi, Joyce. Thanks for coming in. How is everyone? How's the week going so far?
Wonderful for me.
Good. Good. How's everybody in chat doing? Can you guys see us on Facebook as well? I want to make sure.
Yes. Yes.
You can see that? Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Always need to double check. Always need to double check. So yeah, hi everyone. We are doing take 2 on last Saturday's Cluster of Alive, where it seemed like anything that could go wrong did go wrong. So hopefully tonight I've set everything up so I should be able to. It's wet there. Oh, that's kind of gross. Too long need to work 2 and 5 off. Yeah. I agree. Hopefully I can share, and if I can't, at least someone else should be able to. Let's hope. LFT may be able to. I put the thing up in the drive, so hopefully. So welcome in, everyone. Glad you guys can make it. Glad you guys are here. Tuesday, March 22nd, we're going to talk about Harry Milligan and his disappearance. I have a little intro we're going to read off, and this is just to kind of connect everybody who's not aware of the situation or how we came to work on this case. But just this is an introduction to Harry, if you will. Harry Milligan was, before I forget, and I don't even want to start this, LFT had a beautiful find today. And I always think that this is so cool when we find little things like this. And I think it's really important. We didn't know this. This was not told to us. We found this in our research. And after Harry's disappearance, Harry was in the U.S. Marines. After his disappearance, he was promoted in the Marines. And it had nothing to do with his disappearance. He just worked really hard, deserved the promotion, and got it. But it wasn't announced until after he disappeared. So this is, we're tipping our hats. We're showing our respect to Mr. Lance Corporal Harry Dennis Milligan of the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves. I think that's pretty damn cool. And I'm only sorry that he wasn't there to receive the accolades himself. But let me go ahead and just read this so that we can catch. Hi, Lisa. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Let me just read this off so we can get everybody on board. Harry Dennis Milligan was a 21-year-old U.S. Marine Corps reservist who went missing from Albia, Iowa on July 1st, 1984. Harry was home from college and working with a friend painting houses, waiting to head back to the Marine Corps. I can't even believe I just said that. The Marine Corps. Please forgive me for additional training. On June 30th, Harry went out, or no, where did he go? Harry went home after work, cleaned up, and went to meet friends at the Waterworks Lounge in Albia. He was rumored to have played poker with the owner and some other bar patrons, and he supposedly won a substantial amount of money. Go ahead, try and say that 3 times fast. Supposedly won a substantial amount of money. He left the bar at some point and was seen driving around town in his 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix. He was speaking to friends. He later met up with his friends Jeff Adler, Doug Matty, and Steve Rockwell. Got into Steve Rockwell's car, continued to drive around. I guess they had some beers. These friends claimed to have dropped Harry off at his car, which was parked at the Albia Library. He was last seen driving north towards Avery, Iowa, towards his home. And this was the last time that Harry Milligan was seen alive. Was he considered AWOL after he disappeared? First of all, hi, Amanda. I didn't greet you. Welcome. Yes, he was considered AWOL after he disappeared. That was certainly corrected, but yes, he was. So that's kind of the rundown on who Harry Milligan was. I hate saying was. He was declared deceased in 1992. So tonight, what we're going to do is kind of talk about what happened when they dropped Harry off. What happened when those friends dropped Harry off? Who saw Harry over the course of the evening? And basically just talk about that kind of thing. Any bodies of water on his route home? Yes, so many. For Iowa, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of ponds and a lot of water. For an inland state, there's a lot of damn water. And a lot of it has been searched around the area, but you know what? On private property, it has not been searched. And you need the owner's permission.
And the routes he would take home, for the bodies of water, for accident per se, no, that those has been cleared.
Yeah. Yes, those have been cleared. You're right. You're absolutely correct. Those routes that he took home, that the ponds on his way home have been searched. And that's, thank you for clearing that up. Thank you very much. Some of the other ones where he could be suspected of being, those are the ones we need to search.
Mm-hmm.
So on to the night. Like I said, he was playing cards, supposedly. We have no proof of this. We have no proof that he won money. We only hear from several different people throughout the evening that he ran into where he had talked about winning a substantial amount of money, a large sum. I could be anywhere from $200 to $2,000, and then, I mean, anywhere in between. I don't know how much he won. And I don't know if that had anything to do with his disappearance. I personally lean towards that, but that's my opinion and not my facts yet.
I'm with you on that.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
I think he won a substantial amount of money and pissed some people off. That's what I think. And I think that those people that he pissed off are some pretty ugly characters around town. You know who you are.
Right.
We're going to be talking. Hey, we're going to be talking about you guys. Tune in. We are talking about you. We're going to work our way up or down, I guess. I don't know how you want to put that, but
down the list.
We're going to work our way down the list, but we want to make sure that we get the story of Harry and the evening out there first. And the evening, everyone's like, oh, what's your timeline? I want to see your timeline. Our timeline is all over the place because you could have 37 timelines due to all of the people who claim to have seen Harry at certain points in the evening. So there's a couple of guys who are like, nope, I saw him at this time. And then there's another guy who's like, nope, he was south of town at this time. Well, that was the same time he was in town talking to these guys.
And it was 1984. So keep in mind, no cameras, so it's a little bit different than these days. It's hard to fact check as far as, yes. We have to go by hearsay on this and where it leads you.
Yeah, it's very circumstantial. There's no, like, with other cases of recent days, like you can go and say, oh, pull your cell phone records, pull your car. And now it's like, we're depending on people's memory from 37, almost 38 years ago.
Right.
And to be honest with you, when I say this is ironic that I'm saying, to be honest with you, these people are fucking liars.
They all lie.
They're liars. And it just, y'all, I get, I got to settle down. It's too early in the game for this.
Right.
It's too early.
Reel it back in.
So, who wants to start? Crazy Mama, you want to start? Or LFT, you want to start? Like, just...
No, you go ahead. You're doing good.
Okay. So we just have some conflicting statements of when Harry went missing throughout the evening. And honestly, the timeline of Harry disappearing could be anywhere from midnight to 5 a.m. And that's a huge window when you think about it. Some of the statements, oh gosh. Okay, well, let me start here. So 3 days, somewhere 3 days after Harry's disappearance, these friends were interviewed. And the statements were all over the place. Nobody knew anything. Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw Harry. Harry who? I don't even know Harry. I've never... Harry who? Like, it's the most ridiculous thing. And also we didn't see, all of them said the same, we didn't see Harry until after 2 a.m. Except that people around town clearly saw Harry with some of these individuals earlier in the evening.
Right.
That's problematic. Lie number one, losers.
Right, because let me say this. Rockwell, Adler, and Maddie did not get with Harry until after the bars closed. from their statements. But yet everybody else saw these people with him throughout the night, right?
Saw Jeff Adler, in Harry's car, drinking beers, pulling over, talking to people. And not just 1, 2, we're talking 3, 4 people who saw, 5 people. I'm in my head, I'm counting 5 people who saw him Saturday driving around, potentially 6 being a Albia police officer, Detective Sergeant Larry Jones, Popcorn, or as Crazy Mama likes to call him, Barney Fife.
Yep.
One bullet Barney.
Right.
For one cop, his reputation is just something else. I'll tell you what. There is not one person that I have spoken to in Albia that has any nice things to say about Larry Jones. Not one person has come up and said, you know what? He's actually a really nice guy. And he's had some really terrible things happen, or he's misunderstood. It's all, you know what? The guy's an asshole. He used to scare the shit out of us. He used to harass the shit out of us. That's all you hear about Larry Jones.
Yep. He used his badge, in my opinion, with a lot of things.
He sure did, but he was also pretty creepy with some things. And the stories run deep there as well. And where he would sneak up on people, men, women, children. I don't know. He's weird. Weirdo. And his story is completely inconsistent. One minute he sees him west of town. Another time it's east of town. He sees them dropping Harry off in... Now, hold on. I don't have the statement in front of me, but can one of you answer? Did he ever say which car? He doesn't remember which car. Right.
Because remember he mentions another player that was...
Oh, that's right. That's right. He thought it was somebody else.
Yeah.
Huh?
A Jeep? Was it a Jeep or something?
Yeah, the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not, yeah.
Which clearly wasn't the case at all. Anyway, so Jeff Adler's, let's see. Let's just start with Jeff Adler, because I tried last week to have a lot of empathy and think about it from his point of view. And I still have a lot of empathy, and I still try to think of it from his point of view. But I struggle when your best friend goes missing and you have nothing to say. You have nothing to say to the family, to the brother, or all of the sisters, which you knew. You just have not. You didn't volunteer for anything. You didn't volunteer to help. You haven't spoken. You haven't volunteered to go to. It's just been. That's the tail chasing part of this, and I don't understand that. He claims he first saw Harry with Rockwell in Rockwell's car. That's statement number 1 in 84. He doesn't know where Harry was until after 2 a.m. He was alone when Adler and Rockwell first saw him. It might have been later than 3 a.m. Statement number 1, 1984. 2 days after, and this is, I don't know, might have been 2, might have been 3. Didn't see him. Nope. I don't know. I may not remember a lot, but if there's a traumatic event where my best friend goes missing, you bet your shit I'm going to remember. I'm going to go back and think about things. I'm going to try and help find him.
And my stories will stay the same within 10 years that I talked to you.
Oh my God. Well, that's the best part. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Or you would at least be certain as to whose car you were in, and you would all
2 days later. You think?
Well, hell, days later. They didn't. Days later.
2 days later. Yeah, you would think you would know what car. Yes, we were in Harry's car. No, we were in my car. We're going to show you the difference between the two cars. You're going to know which freaking car you were in. And then 10 years later, when Mr. Adler was interviewed, 10 years, I can appreciate your memory is getting a little foggy. perhaps. But the first statement out of your mouth is, my memories are limited. I can't recall exactly what they did that night, but remembers a softball tournament, but they were on the same team. Was scheduled for the next day. Harry didn't show up. Remembers Mrs. Milligan calling him the day to see if he knew where Harry was. Meanwhile, again, this is your
best friend.
Mr. Best Friend. Can't recall the exact time, thinks it was after midnight, 2 a.m. Not sure what direction or car, but feels like they were together in Harry's car. They parted. One of their cars was parked on the east side of North. Let's show some pictures here. Let's try to get some pictures going so that you guys can see what we're talking about. Let's all say a prayer.
You got it.
Let's all say a prayer to the sharing gods. Okay.
But if we wouldn't have technical difficulties, we would not be us, just so you know.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Okay. Hang on. Let me get this up there. Oh, I just removed it. Add it to stream. Okay. Nope. Hold on a second. I got to remove it.
Pin Kelly Ray's Facebook.
I was about to say the same thing.
What's that?
Kelly Ray, can you pin that?
Oh, yes, I can. How are you, sir? How can you have anything for him but anger for his actions and statements? And yeah, I would be out hunting for him myself. You know, I wouldn't believe. Yeah. Scared of what? Get real. Okay. Amen. So much yes to this. And first of all, Kelly Ray Wilkins, welcome in. Thank you. It's so nice to see you. We are so happy you're here. And I agree. I agree. Like, how can you have anything but anger? It's hard. It's really, really hard. Hang on. I'm trying to get my, my screen up. It's coming.
Sorry, Tia. I didn't want to interrupt you. I just wanted that was a good
No,
statement.
that's important. I'm really glad you did.
It takes copious amounts of willpower not to be blinded by the anger as you look back through it.
With a lot of these players, yeah. Not just Adler. It's with a lot of
them. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's my first one though, right? Stop sharing. Let's try this again. Let me see if I can do this properly this time. I don't want to get too crazy. Okay. How does that look?
Okay. And now you might want to minimize the comment.
Yes, I will. I can only click so fast. I can only click. Actually, I think I'm going to take us off, and that way make it bigger for everyone else to see. Can you guys see this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is, if you can see it, put a 1 in the chat for me, just so I'm making sure. Also, I'm sipping on my water, you guys. I'm so sorry. I want to do a little special shout out to TCA. I noticed she hasn't. Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate it. I want to do a special shout out to TCA. You guys know she's a mod in here. She has her own channel, and every time she comes in, her name's Allison, we make her drop her own link. We make her work for it. We love her dearly, and she's a very good friend, and she's the reason that we are. Hey, Jerry, welcome in, friend. Thanks for being here. She's the reason that we're working on Harry Milligan's missing person case. She's the absolute reason. She went around and did some videos for us that we're going to be uploading and showing you. And they are absolutely freaking amazing. She goes all over town. She takes us to the specific spots. You can time it so you can see exactly how far things are. But I just wanted to do a special thank you to her because she's a good friend, and she is awesome. I'm not showing those videos tonight, but we are probably going to show them this weekend. So please come back Friday or Saturday, I'll let you guys know what the better night is for everybody once we talk to Mark Milligan. But we wanted to thank her very much for doing that, because that's an all-day thing to drive around and video. And gas
Right.
ain't cheap, y'all. In case you didn't know, gas ain't cheap.
Right.
So I just wanted to do a thank you to her. You're going to see in her videos when we do this stuff as well. But this is just a very abbreviated, quick version of the library where Harry was parked, the access to where Waterworks is, and how he kind of walked down the alley there. This is also the spot where, quote unquote, Popcorn, Detective Sergeant Larry Jones, would have seen them separate into their own vehicles. This would have been his kind of viewpoint, if you will. So that's the library there, access to Waterworks, and then I'll show you some more pictures as we go along here. Hang on one second.
Yeah, I have to visualize things, and I think this helps everybody understand where he was, where he went. It's labeled.
Yeah, that's what we want to do, is try and show. Okay, so here's another view of, this is the other side of the street, if you will. So this is the street looking southbound. We were just looking northbound. It's the same street, just the other side of the street. Benton Avenue, where we were previously standing. This is where Harry's car. Can you guys see this? I didn't even look to see.
ATCA.
Is she in there? Yay! Okay,
Yeah.
well, you just missed your shout out. Thank you, my love, for those pictures, those videos. When you go back to listen, I hope you'll hear that we thank you so much. Here is the view of facing the other side of the street, where the access to the alley is to Waterworks. This is where Harry's car was parked, Benton Avenue. The library is parked to the left there. And then they walked down this alley to get to Waterworks. Am I right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then, should we show the infamous Waterworks? So here's the Waterworks Lounge. Bar, lounge. Okay, that is correct. Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you, sir. Oh, you know what? I don't want to show this one yet. I want to show you the other one where he would come out the alley. This is the one. I'm so sorry. It's this one. And I wish I could just share, but I have so much up. Okay. So where we showed where the alley was, this is the other direction of the alley. And this is the Waterworks Lounge over here where the red arrow is. Can you guys see that? So he would walk it's just a connective way to walk down, just a access, if you will. Easy access. I guess you parked at the library. Parking may have been limited on the street. Also, from what I understand from townsfolk, that you didn't really want to park in front of the bar. Walk out of the bar and get your car. So people would park down at the library and walk, which makes perfect sense to me. You're not alerting the media that you're sitting in the bar drinking. They
were working and doing homework at the library.
Exactly. Yes. That's the house they had parties at too. That's right. Actually, yes, I do remember that. Let's see. I just want to catch up, make sure. Okay, so he would come down this alley, head to Waterworks. Got that. Let me just show you some of these pictures really quick so you get an idea. And then the infamous Waterworks Lounge. I feel like, okay. So after this, we can kind of start talking about There's the front of the waterworks right here. So they would just walk down the street. Super easy, right? But it just kind of gives you a visual for those who don't live there. What was really cool, I'll be honest with you, is when TCA sent her videos to us and she was driving around, I was like, I know where she is.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're going. You're going to make a right there at that light. That is so weird that you've never been someplace, but you've studied it so much on a map that you know exactly where she's going and how to get there. I thought that was pretty damn cool.
Right.
But
really, this is one of the main places where he was last seen, coming from the waterworks.
Yep.
This is where the card game they speak of. This is where it happened in the back room here.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a picture of what I think is very interesting as far as the back room, the owner, Mike Stalker's apartment upstairs. There's a lot of theories, and the reason I want to talk about this too, can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The side of the water or the front of the waterworks is right here, obviously. The owner's apartment was upstairs, and this is the waterworks back door. What I find interesting about this is look how easy it is to slip out the back door and go right upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
My guess, if I had to guess, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing, is this back area towards where the pool table / card table was?
If anybody knows that, though, since you brought that up, if anybody from that area knows that, is that back area right there, is that where the card games usually happen? That's what we want to know.
I know. I do know where everyone is. It's so funny. Did you ever figure out who had the party at the house that night? Who's asking
That's Tammy
that question?
Silvers. That's Tammy
Hey,
Silvers.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Poor Tammy. I always have to ask who's asking because I can only see Facebook. So, hi, Tammy. Thanks for coming in. No, not for positive. Okay. I didn't know if this was like a kitchen area or, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Not that they serve. I wouldn't eat there. It doesn't seem like a place I want to eat. But I just wasn't sure if that was where kind of the back room was. But it just seems like an easy. Yeah, you don't know either. Okay. If anybody knows anyone who played cards at the Waterworks, I would love to have a chat with them. If they wouldn't mind. I just want
a picture. Yeah,
I just want a layout of the land, if you will.
And if you hear of anyone who you knew was playing cards or typically played cards on those nights at the table.
Yeah. Right.
Add the names to the list.
Was the Waterworks back door always locked from the outside? That's an excellent question. I don't know. I would, because, and I don't know this for a fact, but this is an assumption. I'm going to say probably.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because there was money, drugs,
drugs.
A lot of drugs. I'm going to assume that back door was locked from the outside. I don't know if it was from the outside or from the inside, but I'm assuming the back door was locked. That's a guess, not a fact. So anyway, back to, I wanted to stop in here and say hello to everyone. Oh, who is that? Who's the Facebook user I wanted to stop in and say hi? Crazy Mama, LFT.
I didn't realize I was on mute. That's Allison.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait. Okay. The booze were there, and in the other room, the dance band area, I thought they set off Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's helpful.
So the booth was in the back instead of the front, like the side door, I should say, the side door that
When you
comes up.
walked through the back door and turned to your left, you were standing at the bar. Okay.
So the bar was at the back, not at the front of the building.
So what the hell was in the front when you walked in the front? Because I wouldn't go into no side door.
The booths were there, and in the other room, the dance band area, and I thought was set up. The card games are heading in the basement. Now, that's the first time I've heard that. That I would love confirmation. No, in the front of the bar. Oh, I get it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay. So that makes more sense to me. Okay. I got you. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Amen. Right on. Yeah. Yeah. Due to some remodeling years later, the drugs were still found as well as the paraphernalia. Anyway, so no, in the front of the bar. Okay. I would love, this sounds so ridiculous. I know this is dumb and inconsequential to Harry's missing person case, but in my head, I need someone to draw me a picture of what the inside of Albia looked like. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can use stick figures, words, whatever, like bar here, tables here, back room, pool table, whatever, basement. But if anyone ever feels the inclination to send something like that through Messenger or tomorrow, I would be so grateful. I just need a visual of the inside of that bar. For some reason,
so did most crayons? Yeah. So did most people enter through the side door or the front door? I'm assuming
the front door, probably. I would think the side door.
Tammy said, in the front. Bar was in the front, so you go through the front. The back, was the other stuff. It was just flipped.
Gotcha. That's what okay. Tammy coming in clutch for us again. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I feel bad because I can never see her, and it just says Facebook user, and I hate that. So I can't. Most came through the side door. Ooh. Well, now, Mark, that's interesting.
Was it just the clothes, like the people that usually went to that bar, they came in the side, or was it like, you know what I mean? Like a few that came in the side, or everybody used that door?
That's interesting, because my question then would be, why would Harry park there to walk all the way around through the alley? Wouldn't you just come down 2nd to 8th Street and come along that way? Or was that just how it was? I mean, I'm asking because I'm curious. Someone told me a long time ago, but not sure. Okay. The assessor's office at the courthouse have probably Joyce, and that's a great idea. Thank you. We
wanted to see how artistic you all were, though, and draw a picture.
Can we see how creative you guys get? All right, LFT, take it away. What are your... So he leaves, goes, rides around, does this thing, and then what? Was the side door. I thought, okay, thank you. Al? The only door I ever used, didn't want certain officers to see you, plus, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I didn't realize my mic was muted. What did she say?
I asked if you wanted to talk about like some of the inconsistencies. I did Adler and his craziness. And then you want to get to like some of the things, how they were leaving and stuff like that.
Or no, did you just want to get through what Daddy next, maybe what he said about when they left?
Does anyone want to tell her she's robotic? She's going to lose her
That's
mind.
what I was saying. She's robotic. That's why I tried to slip in.
Her mind. That's all we say to her when she goes on here is you're robotic. Yet we talk all day on Zoom and everything's fine. She comes on StreamYards and she goes robotic. I'm going to ask the owners if I can go in and video it for you. Stop it.
Oh,
That would be awesome. That would be so cool. You never park in front of the bar. Officers were watching. See, I just said that. That's thank you, Lori. That would be easy pickings right there too, right?
Wasn't there an officer in that picture that you showed riding on a motorcycle?
Which picture did I show? Oh, I don't know if that was an officer or not. I don't know. I'm Charlie's pet. Yeah. I'm sure it's probably been remodeled because, right. I'm sure it has, but if from memory anyone has any idea, I'm just, like I said, it's a curiosity thing. It's not there's no basis to it, and it's not going to affect either way. Maybe they had a grill in the front and served food. Maybe. I don't know. Is it like a greasy spoon kind of place where you can get fries and a drink? Maybe.
They might have served other things, but I don't think they served food.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube censors what you can say, but there was a lot of Coca-Cola. Sniffles. No food. I think that sums it up. It was a liquid lunch if you were going.
Yeah. That's Tammy saying that, yeah.
Tammy, God love you. No food. I love that. Absolutely love that. So I was just asking if one of you guys wanted to hop in and just so I wasn't doing all the talking.
Yeah.
But so they drove around and then hopped into Jeff Adler's car, which we showed you the other night. The cars, didn't we? Did we get a good shot of the cars? Do we need to see the cars again?
Go ahead and show the cars again. That way everybody sees the difference on the cars with the taillights, because taillights was mentioned on vehicles. And
oh God, yeah.
Even as a woman, you're going to know the difference with this car to that car, in my opinion. I mean, I don't see how they could be mistaken.
I agree with you. Well, first we're going to show Harry's car because that's how we roll. Harry's number one. So there's Harry's car. 17 feet of mean red machine. Libations with perks. You betcha. Libations with perks. Perks being the key word there. This was Harry's car. I love this car. Like, you can just hear this car coming and going, I bet you. And I think it got miles to the gallon, not gallons to the mile. That would be my guess. He probably paid more in gas in this car than he paid for anything.
I bet you it had a huge gas tank.
I bet, you know what? You're probably right. You're probably right. So that was his car. Let's show. I'm going to call him what one of my pals calls him, Asshole Adler, because it just made me giggle when I actually we're going to show you I'm going to show you Rockwell's car. This is not Mr. Rockwell's car. This is just a car that's similar to that we were able to kind of identify. Now this would have been the car that all four jokesters were riding around in. Now y'all saw Harry's car, right? Now you see this little car. Right. Now, supposedly he had the thumping stereo system, but it's still a little car. Like, I'm really not sure why we didn't just hop in the other vehicle, but we didn't. We went around town in that vehicle.
Four
That was
grown dudes. 4 grown dudes drinking beer. Who the hell's going to drive around in that car versus Harry's car? That's just crazy. You have a big car for a reason. It's a party car.
Hold on. I got to find asshole Adler's car. I know that's not very nice, but that stuck with me. I literally spit water when I got this text. Oh, and now I'm trying to find it. Hang on, bear with me. I had everything all set up, of course, but life. Oh, here. There we go. Okay.
And Alan Kaufman says, I think Chris Henderson lives up in that apartment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. It's a boat. Very customary for cars at the time. Yes, I know. They could put 3 kegs in Harry's trunk. Yes. Listen, that is this. I said the other night, that's the size of a small New York apartment. You could put a bed back there. Oh my God. Okay. So
I have to ask Mark something real quick. Mark, would you compare it to, I had an old Chevy Impala. I forgot how, the years, but it reminds me, it was that big. When I drove that thing, it was huge. Would you compare that to that? You can share a picture now, Tia. I just wanted to ask Mark that.
I'm trying to see how it's sharing.
Good.
Is that sharing properly?
Mm-hmm.
So that's asshole Adler's car. Apparently that's not the color. By the way, I like this color much better. I like this is a hot looking car, by the way.
I was gonna say that's badass, looking.
I know. That you know what? This car, when you started this car, you can feel it in your chest. You can feel that motor going in your chest. I love that feeling, by the way. I love old cars. Love them. I love muscle cars. I'm from Detroit. It's my life. I live for car shows and muscle cars like that. I think they're so cool. And when you can feel them grumble in your chest when you start it, it's like that. Oh, so cool. So that's the difference in the cars, just so everyone sees. You have an idea of the little, what is it, Sunbird, the Nova SS, and Harry's boat. It was a cool
and
car.
Like I said, back in the day, even, in the 90s, even, if you're going to pick a car between those 3, you would pick Harry's car for 4 guys to be driving around drinking beer in. That's just my opinion. That's how we
I just
roll.
know that they were really close and really close friends in that car.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were close.
Yeah.
Physically, you were close.
Right. I knocked somebody out with my elbow, tipping the beer up.
Right?
Right.
Oh God, that's so true. And where did they put the cooler?
That's what I was about to say. Why would you switch everything from one car when you've got, witnesses seeing him drive around or talk to him, asking, come have a beer with us, drive around in Harry's car. You see him even parked and grabbing a beer out of the trunk of his car, supposedly, over by the library, I believe, where that house used to be across the street where some parties were going on. But still Harry was around his car, no one puts him until later in Adler's, or excuse me, in Rockwell's car.
Yeah, and the weird thing is no one's in Adler's car.
But yet Harry just takes Adler to go get his car, or drops him off. He had to go get his car at one point. But they moved their cars around a lot
that's a good point. They did do that. That's a really good point. Maddie don't remember bumping elbows.
That's Rachel.
Oh, Rachel, that's funny. Who wrote Knockin' Boots? I love that.
Tammy. That's Tammy.
Oh, good gravy. Tammy, you need to let Facebook link up with
I dropped the
StreamYard so I can see your name. You have the best comments.
It just gives StreamYard permission to say when it says fake, because on YouTube it just shows Facebook user. But if you allow them access to your Facebook, it'll give your name. That way YouTube will show it as well.
That's what I see on StreamYards, just Facebook user.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like I don't want to disrespect anybody because I don't know who it is. Adler's car was dark green. Hold on, what is this? Adler's car was dark green with a black vinyl top. Let me get it. But it was. I like the silver with the blue. That's just an opinion. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Asshole Adler. I'm just saying.
I think what I just realized. Did any of them ever say, not one of them, sorry to interrupt, but no one said where they picked him up? Like, where did they meet? Just on a random corner? No one, in terms of Adler, Maddie, and Rockwell.
Mm-hmm. We don't know where they met up.
Well, I'd have been in the library.
Joyce, you and me both. I would have been driving it too. You and me both, Joyce. Mm-hmm. I'd have taken that bitch over. Get in the passenger seat, Harry. I'm driving. Yeah.
But they would have had to pick him up from the library if that's where he was dropped back off at. Everybody met back up and went their separate ways from the library, right?
Well, unless they were all at the Waterworks.
True. But they never parked at the Waterworks. They parked at the library. Okay, gotcha. So they got in. They would have still, because everybody parked at the library. Everybody says that. So
except for Adler. Adler was parked at the Western Club apparently earlier in the night than they had. I'm assuming they moved his car to the library because before witnesses have said they saw Harry and Adler. It was later in the evening, probably around the time that the bars started to close, especially for some of the people that have spoken up. But they were having, a good time, and it was like they were got to go get Adler's car from the Western Club. And then,
hello, Marcy Golden. She just got off work trying to catch up. All good.
Oh, that's so nice of you to come in. Thank you so much, Marcy.
But yeah, I see what you're saying, LFT.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it's according to what year you want to read on the interviews on whose car they was in, who was with them, and all that shit, because it changes.
Well, that's just it. And that makes me crazy, is the inconsistency. We can't remember whose car we were in. We can't remember where we were. We can't remember what we did. But let me tell you this.
I think Harry got out first.
Right? Harry got out first. I think he made a left here, a right here, went backwards, retreated, turned around, and did the hokey pokey. But I can't really remember what we did that night. Mm-hmm. Let me give my specific directions on how I got home, Jeff Adler. And then let me give conflicting stories on how I think Harry left. It's really frustrating.
Too, it's odd that in like how they throw each other's name around on each other, like it's like they throw each other under the bus. And even Adler mentions how Holland Rake is usually with Harry. They hung around. That's who they was with usually. Well, all of a sudden, the night he disappears, this one night he disappears, he was with Rockwell, but Rockwell's never usually with them driving around with the clique. Usually it's Holland Rake. So that was kind of odd.
I thought so too. I think that's a really interesting, a very valid point as well. Like they apparently, these guys, Adler, Maddie, Holland Rake, were all really good friends with Harry. And they hung out together often, it sounds like, from my gathering. If you're in the Facebook group, and this is one of the things I find really interesting, is if you're in the Harry Milligan Facebook group, that he posted a picture of a letter that Harry had written to Jeff Adler while Harry was away in the Marines. I don't know the date of the letter. I'm guessing that it was early on and he was in training, but I don't know that for a fact. The interesting portion of, reading this letter, and it's a great letter. It's Harry at its finest. I hope you're drinking beer. Have you gone into concerts? I miss my friends. Write me back. Somebody who's disconnected from the world that he knows and loves his whole life, right? You're reading this letter. But what people failed to see in that letter was, why was Mark putting a picture up of a letter that said, "Dear Jeff"? Wouldn't Jeff have that letter?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the ironic thing. Jeff did not have that letter. One of the other friends has that letter.
Did they room together? Was they roommates?
They were roommates
for a period of time.
Harry and the other person were roommates, but not Jeff Adler. So
right, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Jeff Adler and the other person were not roommates. Why did Jeff Adler give him this letter? Did he take the letter without Jeff's knowledge? Or did Jeff give it to him? It's like I said, everyone's reading the letter and going, "Oh, this is so great. Oh, it's so precious to see these words." Yes, it is. It was amazing. And it was amazing to see, I teared up seeing Harry's handwriting and hearing his voice, through his words there. It's really interesting. But the interesting part is, excuse me, why do you have that letter? Why is Jeff Adler not holding that letter?
How did that letter get into the hands of the other party?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Why did and to me that would be gold.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I'm very sentimental though.
Me too.
I save things. I save notes. I save ridiculous things from my
True
friends.
True friends would. True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know guys are a little bit different. So and 21-year-old guys, I'm going to cut a little slack to. I'm going to say, okay. But after your friend disappears and that letter is gone and then turns up in a Facebook post, all stops would be put out and I would be like, how the hell did you get that letter? But again, it seems like there's no cares given. I'll be good. No cares given. No, I'm not going to be good. You know what? There's no fucks given here. And that really pisses me off. Like, why on earth? I don't know. That's the silly little stuff that gets on my nerves.
Rachel asked, was it originally in Harry's car, which
The
it wouldn't
letter?
have been, because it would have been from Harry to Adler. So it shouldn't have been in Harry's car.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mary
And
Lou.
it still doesn't explain why this third party has the letter.
Right.
That's what's weird. I don't get that. I don't get it.
Well, it's not much improvement from their actions even the day after, when your stories aren't even straight. Between July 3rd and July 4th interviews, two different people. I don't know, you screwed the pooch from the start. Y'all didn't even would you not? I mean, I was like, hey, did law enforcement ask you? Yeah. Oh God. I mean, they clearly, I mean, I'm hoping they didn't do that, because if they did and their stories are still this divergent from one another, where one person says actually, I believe it was Adler. Excuse me, Adler. Oh my God, what is with me in that? With her saying that he's well when he first met her.
She's robotic.
And
I did not hear LFT. I heard a robot, so I have no clue what she just said.
I know.
But
I'm so sorry.
I want to ask a question real quick to Steve Rockwell.
Oh,
sir, in '84, why do you say that Jeff Adler and Doug Maddie, Harry Milligan, and yourself was all together, but then in 2020 you had an interview that said Doug was not with you, Maddie. Doug Maddie was not with you. So did you forget that he was with you on your next interview, so you just left him out, or was there a reason you left Maddie out of your second time you interviewed? I'm curious. Did you forget?
That's a really great question.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
That is a really great question. You know what? I'm going to follow that up with Mr. Adler, sir. Why is it you can't remember shit 2 days after your best friend goes missing? Why is it that when you come to town, or not when you come to town, when you talk about Harry, your memories are so limited? And I mean, what if, you guys, what if they were hammered? What if they were high and drunk and you were, just blasted? Isn't there bits and pieces you would be like, oh shit? It's pretty sobering when a human being disappears off the face of the planet. By the way, their car disappeared off the face of it. It's not just Harry, it's the car too. And my understanding through Mark is that's a very odd thing to have the car missing as well. Usually you'll find the person in the car, but to have both missing is a very, like, that's a big oddity. Makes the person wonder what happened that night. It really does. It TCA, it really does. And I'm so stuck on when they dropped Harry off and how the stories are so 2% of missing persons, Mark says. Okay, that's interesting. Go missing with their cars. That's
right. It's right. And there again, we're talking about a big ass car. I hate to keep saying that, but it's not a tiny car to hide. I mean,
yeah, usually the car is found.
So that's kind of odd.
It's very odd.
It's very hidden.
It's very hidden.
That thing.
Yeah. And for what reason? I bet that car is in water somewhere. Who ran scrap yards? Well, we've been working on that. I bet that car is in water somewhere. Karen, you might be right.
That's Alan Kaufman.
Oh, okay. Hi, welcome in. The thing is it's not a small car. I mean, your body of water has to be a decent sized body of water. Okay, first of all, and it has to be fairly deep. Normally someone would keep it and have changed the VIN to destroy it. There was a reason. Agreed. Right. Most common car is fine. Look at this, Mark, with the facts, man. The car is found in a 5-mile radius. That's pretty interesting right there. And I think that may be something we need to concentrate on and look at too.
I think it's in a 5-mile radius.
I do too.
It could still be, yeah.
That's what I think. Mr. Wilkins coming in here. There is a reason. There's an absolute reason. We lost our third party here. I feel bad. she like I said, she does fine, and then she comes up on StreamYards and she goes robotic, and it's her stupid internet, and I'm so sorry, you guys, and I'm sorry to her because she works so hard too. So Adventures with Purpose have solved multiple missing persons 20 to 30 years later. Yes. Have you searched with the VIN number? Yes, we have. Karen, we're working with a number of different dive teams, I guess. I'm going to take that back and say I am not working with several other people. How about how about strip pit mines? Who is that? Crazy Mama. Is that Tammy?
Alan Kaufman. That's Alan Kaufman.
Okay. Hi. I would love to learn more about strip pit mines because that is new to me. And I've been trying to learn about those because that's another quote unquote rumor, if you will, about where his car could be. It could be in water, could be in one of those strip mines. It could be whatever it was an easy, oh God, you guys forgive me, but it was an easy disposal. And I struggle when I say things like that because I think it's disrespectful to Harry, but they absolutely treated him like trash and disposed.
Right. Yeah, we're not the ones disrespecting Harry. The players involved are the ones disrespecting Harry. Just remember that.
Okay, thank you for that. I just,
I know.
It gets emotional. Like it pisses me off because I just don't understand how callous a person has to be like, you know what, you stole $50 from me playing poker. You're better at poker than I am. So fuck off and I'm going to kill you. Just what the hell? What people don't understand is this is important. As great as Adventures with Purpose are, they don't investigate cases. They come search suspect. Okay. So yeah. And this, nearly every time we do a live, someone asks about Adventures with Purpose. And Mark has been on top of that since I think day one, and those fellas came into, and not just them, there's other ones too. Any gravel pits in the area? Yes, there are. And we have looked into those as well. Everyone wants to throw out, and please don't think this is a negative comment in any way, shape, or form, but everyone wants to say, oh, just have Jared Adventures with Purpose come in and look. Well, that's great, but we have to have a place for them to look in. And they don't do the investigating. So we have to try and do that for them and then present them with a case and say, okay, guys, here's where we think, here's where we hope, here's 3 spots for you. Check them out. But we need to get there first. And unfortunately, there's no hard evidence that points us to a body of water yet.
We're working on that. And
we are working on that.
And
you know what? What's interesting is there's a lot of people coming forward saying, you can search my property and you can search my pond, or my pond has been searched, but you're welcome to come back. Mrs. Milligan, what are you talking? The courthouse did not have strip mine locations. They said check with the Historical Society to see. Okay, that's cool. Can do. Right. We'll do that. Cottonwood Pits is just side. Now, Cottonwood Pits, I do know was searched.
They've checked.
That has been
That's
searched.
Alan Kaufman, right?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kaufman. If there was any suspected foul play, really? Well, there was total suspected foul play. Cottonwood's Pits was close to the Stalker's farm, but it wasn't very deep. Lots of parties out there every weekend. Hey, does anyone know? I'll ask my instructor at school because that's what he did for a living, is servicing equipment at mine. Alan, that would be awesome. Are you kidding? I'd be interested. Cottonwood Pits was close to Stalker's Farm. Yes, is close to yes.
Mhm.
You can message us on Facebook. You can we can drop our email link. I think can we do email? Will BitchBot do email? Let's see. Yeah, that would be amazing information, actually. Let's see. Let's see if BitchBot's gonna work tonight. Thank you so much. That would be amazing. If you wouldn't mind, you fished at Cottonwood Pits. How deep is that water? It looks some look deep, some don't.
Right.
I
And it
wonder.
reminds me of swampy, like a swampy area.
Yeah.
I might be wrong,
Yeah.
but sorry, Tia, but Alan, yes, reach out to Mark Milligan. He just replied to you about speaking to your instructor. That'd be awesome.
That sure shit would be awesome. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where the community is coming together and saying, oh, wait, as 4 max in one of the pits, the others were less than that. Oh, okay. So you would see a red vehicle 17 feet long. I see. Okay. 4 to 5 feet deep. That's it. I mean, I'm thinking we need something pretty deep in order to hide a vehicle.
Right. A deep pond, or
there was an
somebody that owns heavy equipment and that can bury quickly. There's a lot of things.
That's where I lean right now.
Mm-hmm.
I lean towards, we used to shoot clay pigeons out there. Did you really? Fun.
I love shooting, clay pigeons.
I love that too. That's so much fun. I hesitate with the water. Oh, okay. I hesitate with water because I feel like you would have seen it in the aerial searches that were done. And that's just an opinion, not a fact.
Yeah, because I don't agree with that.
With what?
With they wouldn't see it in the aerial search, like you said. I think they can bury it in a pond quick. They can get in the pond, and the helicopter would not see it. They can overlook it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If it's deep enough, opinion. But if it's 4 to 5 feet, you would see it, I think.
Right. Correct. Yes.
Is that okay?
I thought you was talking about the other location's pond. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, no. That's quite all right.
You would see it in the 4 or 5.
That's what I was thinking. Like, yeah. What about under a pond? If a pond was being built at the time and all the equipment to dig a hole in the middle of the pond would be there already. A lot of ponds being built in 1984, I can tell you that.
Klaus.
Hey, actually, I would love to chat with you. Mr. Klaus, welcome in. Thank you so much. You're on my list of people to contact. I would love to chat with you. What about under a pond? If the pond was, there's a lot of ponds that were being built at that time, you guys. Did you know that?
Right.
Did you? Yeah, he's definitely not in Cottonwood Pits, unfortunately. Who knows where? Since we have a local crowd in here, this would be, who knows where the Coyote Pits are? Is that what it's called? Crazy Mama? Coyote?
Shoot. What's it? Copperhead?
No, it's Coyote. I have Coyote Pits written down. There was one being built. That's in question. Okay. Look at this. This guy knows his shit. Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, parts of Illinois were declared a disaster area and president in 1984. Would that be President Reagan? Because of all the rain, Stalker had access to all the equipment through family. Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the rumor that they had all that equipment. And I know I have to say this every time, and I want to be very clear when I do say it, because I often wonder if we have different listeners every time. So I want to make sure to say the same thing that I say every time we talk about Stalker, and that is, I know that there's family of Mr. Stalker out there that are not in any way considered the horrible human being that he was. And I say he was a horrible human being is his temperament. I haven't heard very many people speak highly of him. Like, yeah, he was a great guy. I want to hang out with him. He was a connection. He wasn't a friend. He was a drug dealer. He was a bar owner.
I've not heard one positive.
No. Quick question for someone said that the Stalker have heavy equipment to do dirt work. Any idea what he had to see? Probability of digging a hole and placing a car inside the hole. High probability.
Yes, definitely. Because you can do that with a dozer.
Where is the thing? Lots of property owned by these people. TCA, don't forget, you have to drop your own channel link. That's part of the rules. She's the only one that I'm like, you have to drop your own. I was told by many that he was put in his car and then put in the pond. Yeah.
We've been told that.
Yeah.
And like we've said all along, we don't have connection to the people there in Albia. None of us do. But yet people are reaching out to us, and it's different people that saying it all leads back to the same person. It really does. I hate to say that, but it does. We don't have a connection with this case, but yet we're still going to the same. It's all leading the same direction. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. And I wanted to actually do a little thank you for that too, to the people who have reached out, and there have been many. And it's different every week. Every week we have a new person that, or 3 or 5, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not exaggerating. Believe it or not, I'm really not exaggerating. Crazy Mama can back me up on this. We have people contact us and tell us little bits and pieces of information. And I want to thank those people for trusting us enough to do that. Because as I've said a million times,
we will never. We went live and not mention names.
I will never tell you who gave us what. Never. Ever. But I'm just grateful to those who have felt the need and had the strength and the courage to come forward and either write us a note or call us or leave them, whatever, skywriting. However you've decided to get the information to us. Some have been a friend of a friend because they don't want, they don't want their name included. So they will go through other people. And I'm grateful for those. Every single person that has given us information on Harry Milligan, thank you. And there's a lot of you.
We couldn't do this without you. Honestly, we couldn't do it without them.
No. And while we are investigating the disappearance of Harry and trying to put the puzzle pieces together, like Crazy Mama just said, we absolutely cannot do it without you guys. We also, trying to think of how to say this politically correctly. Well, I'll just leave it as we're very grateful to those who have decided. Those who are still out there who aren't sure what has been done with the information that's been given to us. By the way, hi, Corey Ford. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. We collect it. We research it. We do background checks on, like, if it's a possibility. Does that sound like something that could be feasible? Could that have happened? Could we rule it out? We ask ourselves these questions with every piece of information. And then we collect it and try to fit it into the puzzle. That's what we do with the information. We try to make
Add it
sure
to
it's
our
credible.
timeline.
Yeah. And if the information is credible and it leads to Harry, somebody will get a check for $15,000.
Right.
We were friends of Jeffrey's. Oh, crazy mama.
That's
Who was
Tammy. That's
that?
Tammy
Okay. Duke
Silvers.
got beat on the railroad track by his house after winning a card game, and he was in bad shape. Yeah.
Right.
I've heard that story so many times.
Mhm.
And that is a tragic story. And that was because, and my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that was because he won at cards against Jeff's. Nope. Wrong again.
Right.
Because he won at cards with Mike Stalker. Is that correct? Isn't Mike Stalker the one that's rumored to
And you
have
know
beat
how
the
many?
shit out of him?
Yeah. And you know how many times that story has been told with another person? Like, not that
Yes.
same story, another story that's similar. And that's why does it keep leading towards Stalker? I hate to say that, but it's true. I'm just speaking the truth that comes to me. You know, we investigate everything. And like I said, I'm not, but it's weird that it all does lead that way.
You're safe to tell since you're not from around here and you don't know the people personally. You know, yes and no. Yes and no. I feel like if someone's going to trust us with information, then we need to honor that person by not discussing exactly what we get until the time is right and until we bring Harry home.
Right.
And
because that's our end goal.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
And we do put everything, we collect all this and put it in a drive and, you know, hand it over to the proper authorities when they're ready to investigate that way.
Exactly. And that's, you know, we're working on the process right now. We're ground floor. We're the low men on the totem pole, if you will. We're like collecting the information and try to put the puzzle pieces together. And then what we do is we try to present the puzzle pieces that we have to you guys. And so many of you have been so kind, even on here tonight, where you filled in the blanks for us, and which is awesome because now we go back then after
and not everybody likes this.
Oh, wait, I know.
Yeah, not everybody likes us, and we can handle that. I can handle people not liking me because I really don't give a shit who likes me or who don't. I hate to be like that, but I'm not doing it, you know, for that. I'm just speaking the truth, their truth that's coming to me. It may not be the truth, but it's their truth, you know. So I'm just repeating things that's being said to figure it out. Yeah. It's their story that I'm repeating. It's not anything I came up with because Lord knows I don't know these people. But I will speak what's given to me without names. And I hate that it makes me the asshole, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And we're here.
How else are we going to find Harry?
Right. Right. And I think that's so important. But I want to make sure that people understand that the information given is not something that we post out there that says so and so gave us this information. You know, no. Yeah, she does. Listen, if you want the truth, go to Crazy Mama. If you're like, hey, how's my hair look? She'll tell you your hair looks like shit. Change it.
Right.
And that is
don't
the
ask
best
me
quality
if you don't
about
want to know.
her. That is the best quality about her because you know what? She's not gonna lie. Can't lay your cards of information knows there are lurkers too. You know what? I love the lurkers. I love the lurkers because you lurkers are the ones that are sending us the information. That's what a lot of people don't know. It's the lurkers out there that send me the messages that, you know, it's so funny. Tell me to watch myself and watch my mouth. Shit.
Or it's the lurkers with the names.
Yeah. My own husband doesn't tell me to watch my mouth. So ain't some old man in Albia gonna scare me and say, watch your mouth, little girl. That ain't gonna happen.
Hey, we're called Castellani's for a reason. Just remember that.
But it's true. I mean, we want to put some information out there because we need your help. And then there's some information that we
Right.
can't put out there because it would ruin the investigation on law enforcement side. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Because
Mm-mm.
unfortunately, what I
We sit
don't
on a lot of
know.
shit. We have to.
Oh God, yeah. But we don't know what law enforcement is doing and what their investigation entails, which is why we're doing what we do. So that maybe we're the only ones investigating, and maybe not. Maybe they're doing a great job and keeping it private. You know what I mean? They're tricky bastards. Those dudes.
Right.
I don't know. Here's what I know. I know that Harry went out with his friends. I have not been told to watch what I say. What I'm saying, I would not matter if they did, because Coyote
Exactly.
Run, yes.
Yeah. Pen.
Not a damn thing. Corey, I know that they didn't do much in the initial investigation. That I do know. Does anyone know Coyote Run or Coyote Pen? If you do, let me know. I'd like to hear where that is specifically. I've heard conflicting stories on it, and I would love to know exactly where that is, if you wouldn't mind telling me. I understand that's a great place to party. Bring your beer and hang out. So I just kind of want to know if that's maybe where one of the places they wound up that night. Yeah, I don't want to criticize too much. I'll tell you what. I will criticize back then, because I know there wasn't a whole lot done.
Yeah, right.
And I know that a 21-year-old Marine doesn't just fall off the face of the earth with no. You can say he took off, and you can say, yes, they would actually. You can say he took off, and you can say he went to Alaska, which is one of the stories we've heard, and that's bullshit, because his social security number has never been used. His car has never been recovered or seen. The VIN has never been run again. He didn't take off. Okay. He just didn't take off. So that
simple.
Trying to spin that story, get yourself a new PR firm, Mr. Rockwell. That's not going to fly. I don't care what you heard or what you want to try. Get a new fucking PR firm. That story has been spun and it's not flying. Anyone with a brain.
And since you mentioned Rockwell,
go right
let
ahead.
me add this. Why does, back when he was questioned, why does he think that Harry was acting strange that night? Was this not normal behavior from Harry? Like, what was strange about his behavior that night is what I want to know. Like, that's why I have questions. It's not that I'm hounding Rockwell. Yeah, I'm not hounding Rockwell, Adler, or Maddie to the point. I'm only going by your words, dudes. Your words. So explain that. What was strange? Why was his behavior strange? Just help me with that. That's all. I'm not going to dog you and cuss you and do whatever. I have questions. Can you help me answer them?
Check this out. Coyote Pen is at Spurgeon's. Interesting. I heard there was a party at Denise Spurgeon's. She was inviting Harry and another fella too on Friday night. Did they go? Do you know if anyone went? Who went to that party? Yeah, who went to that party?
Who was at that party that night? Yeah.
Who was at the and was it at Spurgeon's? It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that it's actually there. That's so. You can find this. Yeah. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
We've run them in privately as well. And nothing, not a thing. Oops, LFT's back. Let's add her to stream. There's a pond at Coyote Pens too. Isn't that? Look at TCH. This is why we call her true crime analyst, because she's rolling in with that information. That's awesome.
Is it a big pond?
Yeah, we probably need to do some research on that. It can't take off to a specialist, especially if he's in the Marines too. Government won't allow that, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't take highly to people running AWOL. And you know what? Here's the thing.
Right.
And it's funny that you mentioned that tonight, because like I said, we just found out today that he was promoted to Lance Corporal, right? That's not something you take lightly in the Marines. And it's not something you take lightly. Now, I have heard all the stories. People have come to me and said, oh, Harry hated the Marines. He didn't like it. And then I've heard other stories where Harry loved it and he was doing a great job. Here's the thing. He must have done something right. He got promoted. Not an easy feat.
I think he just missed his drinking and his friends. That's what a lot of them said, too. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too. I think he missed his friends and family. I think that he... they have probable cause for a warrant. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Cindy say she knew of 3 cars in the pond? Mark can answer that.
We'll just let Mark answer that.
I was going to say, we're going to let Mr. Milligan handle that. You're 100% positive. Listen. I know you say it's true. It's true. It's true, girl.
That's exactly right. We're golden. Yeah.
But I do think that's interesting. All of the, 10 years later, Rockwell comes to town. And guess who he meets with? Take a stab in the dark. Mm-hmm. He meets with Stalker. Said, yes, the sheriff stated that to me. And they talk about how Harry ran off to Alaska. And isn't that convenient that 2 of the last people who probably saw Harry Milligan are talking about how he must have ran off to Alaska? I think that's weird.
Right. Because Stalker was one of those that seen him that night.
Why not Mexico? Why does it have to be Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
Back to what I was saying is his promotion tells me that he worked, whether he liked the Marines or not, whether he missed his family and friends, which evidently he did very clearly. What 21-year-old kid is going to love the Marines? You don't go in going, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. You go in going, this sucks balls. And these guys are mean, but you know what? They're making me a better man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sacrificing so much for, my country. I'm sure it's no fun. Like I can't imagine people going in going, this is the best time I've ever had in my entire life. Paris Island rocked. No, I don't think so. I think they go in and they think, this fucking sucks, man. I want to go home. I want to drink beer.
It's hard.
I want to joint. I want to put my feet up.
Yeah.
I want to do all those fun things that I used to do. And someone who's very close to their family like Harry was, and close to his friends like Harry was, it breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart.
And him and Adler had to be close for him to write Adler letters. So him and Adler had to be close. That's what blows my mind.
Oh, that's okay.
So why hasn't he went out looking or came forward?
Thank you. Oh, I see you, okay. LFT. You want to talk about that? I added that. No, you have to love it. You live it and you earn it. But when you're in boot camp, you just want to come home. Semper. Look at that.
Yep. That's what my grandfather said.
That's amazing. But here's the thing, and this is what I wanted to, LFT found this today. He must have done something right. because he got promoted and it wasn't announced until after he was missing. And that sucks. That pisses me off because he deserves the accolades and he deserves to hear the attaboys and the slaps on the back and way to go, buddy. And we're so proud of you. All of that. And he didn't have that chance because he disappeared prior. And that's what things like that. When I heard this today, when we were researching and LFT found this today, thank you. So I was so grateful that she said something. I was like, this is such great news to know. I love this. I freaking love this. I love that he was promoted. Because that's who I think Harry is. Right. He worked hard at whatever he did. He was competitive as hell. He was into sports. And he excelled probably at things, physically very easily. But do I think his heart was in it? Probably not. Whatever. But he was still cut out for it. He still did amazing things. He's still a great guy. And screw you to those who, speak negatively of him. I just, look, his sister, parents, everyone's quoted in here. Saying that he was looking forward.
Will you unpin that, Tia? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, I will. Thank you. His sister is talking about how he was looking forward to that. And imagine your parents hearing this after the fact. So,
but even hearing it after the fact, it's a proud moment. It just sucks that Harry didn't know it.
He knows it now. And it's earned. But what should be earned is he should be honored. He should be once a Marine, always a Marine. A freaking men, brother. Yes. Always. And thank you to those Marines. Thank you to everyone. From a kid who was born with 2 club feet, spent the beginning of his life in a cast. From the waist down, he could compete with anyone and probably kick their ass winning, I would think. We just need to bring Harry home. Bottom line. That's it. I want this Marine honored. I want him brought home. I want Lance Corporal Harry Milligan honored. I want all the things that I want all the things that he has earned and deserved to be bestowed on him and his family. That's what I want. And I know
shame on the assholes that keep their mouths shut.
I was just going to say, I know the people out there, the lurkers, are like people in hell on ice water. Well, tell me about it when you're there, okay? When you're asking for that ice water.
Because you're going.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And you know what? It's all talk now. And you think, oh, who cares? I beat it. No one knows. Listen, your karma is so fucked. I don't want to be you. I don't want anything to do with you. All I want is your information. Just speak. Tell us where Harry is. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Just tell us where Harry is and let's get the ball rolling. Okay. And let's honor him. Let's lay him to rest. And everyone can have peace. You included. You included. And I know there's people out there. Here's the thing. And I'm going to be very clear with this. Very clear. The person that I think did this is dead. 100% I think they're dead. But that person had associates. And that person had a mouth. And that mouth was moving constantly. So I know that there's others that know. And I just want to hear from those people. Those are the people I need to hear from. Who dropped Harry off? What direction
For
did he
sure,
go
there's
in?
people out there that knows.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mark does have a flag at the Welcome Home Memorial. That's amazing. That is amazing. That is a place where I'll tell you what, I would love TCA to now that's a video I would really love. I'd love to share that. That place looks like quite an amazing spot. It really does. That Welcome Home Soldier Memorial looks like an amazing, amazing, beautiful thing there. And I would love someone to video that and send it to us. Before I forget, while we were talking about the military and the Marines, I want to thank all that served, all that are in here. I think that's. Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, it's not a flag, but he's on the wall. His true friend paid to have it put there. Wow. Yeah.
Oh.
That is a true friend to have to pay to have that put there. Let's talk about the true friends that were out with him that night. Jeff Adler, Doug Maddie, Steve Rockwell. Let's talk about you guys. Why don't you guys come and just have a conversation with us? Have a conversation with Mark. Sit down. You're so willing. You want to hear. You want to be caught up in the case, that you'll tune in and you'll send your little cronies in, and your messages from your little cronies come into us. So I know you're listening. Unburden and tell us what happened that night. What happened? So you drove around and did what? You drank beer, you listened to music, you smoked a joint, whatever. I don't care. Awesome. Sounds like a great night in the 80s to me. sounds like fun. No judgment.
Right.
Wish I was there.
If you've forgotten what you said, you got a copy. You've broken it down if you need to look at it.
Exactly. And
Right.
that, that's such an important thing that Crazy Mama and LFT just said. Like, you guys, we're using your words against you. We're not making it up.
Right.
They did do some flyovers.
I'm gonna let Mark talk about that one.
Yeah.
Let him handle that one. These are your words that you said. We just pulled the reports. That's it.
Right.
Why don't you clear it up? Maybe that's what we need to ask people to do. Instead of coming forward with your story of what happened that night, why don't you clear up the fucking mess that you have, that you've left, the destruction in your path that you have left, the lies that you've left? How about just clearing that up? Just come in with a mop, a broom, and a dustpan and just clean that right up. What about that? Can we do that?
Yep. Speak your truth.
Listen, if your truth is the truth, God bless. It'd be amazing. Look what you're doing. Look at the amazing thing you're doing. And how many times do we have to say this? The people that we talk about, their families are not them. Mike Stalker's family I do not judge the family. I judge the individual.
Correct.
Why do I judge an individual? Because his record speaks for itself. His quote unquote friends, or acquaintances, associates, whatever you want to call them, they spoke. Nobody was like, "Oh, damn, he was such a great guy." It was like, "Oh shit, that guy was trouble." True friends are there through thick and thin, not when it's convenient. I know.
Rachel.
That's the truth.
Yep.
Or not, here's the thing. Here's another thing. What if it was an accident? Let's just talk about that for a second. What if it was an accident? Hypothetically speaking, what if it was an accident? Okay. And you didn't come clean then. You're afraid you're in trouble now. afford lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyer up.
Because somebody still knows that, somebody was there during that accident. And that's the thing. If you're haunted by it or whatever, set yourself free by speaking and telling your truth.
Mm-hmm. Look at this comment, you guys.
They're
going to meet their maker someday, and it would be nice to have that cleared already, because he's not going to accept it that easily. Listen, people believe that, Jesus died for all your sins. And that may be true. And I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. And what I believe is you reap what you sow. If you're a good person, you do the right things. You do the right things for the right reasons. You have nothing to worry about. You got a couple skeletons in your closet. Shit happens. You've done some things. It's how you regain, how you live your life after you make those mistakes.
And you can't continue to complain. People still talk about the case and your involvement, because that's all there is to go off of. You either, if you don't like people complaining or don't want people talking about it, then speak the F up and put it rest.
I agree. How can
you
they
don't get the privilege of complaining that it's a rumor or I don't like what's being said? That doesn't fly anymore.
Well, here's the thing. For 37 years, this case was quiet. And there was only a couple people. I think they lawyered up, and that's why they don't talk. Doubt it.
Well, we all have to come to Judgment Day. That's the thing. Everybody, their judgment's coming. It's not for us to judge. That's the thing. And I pity the fools. That's all I got to say.
I was just going to say, I pity the fool. I know. I agree. Yep. I absolutely agree. Like, you all, Steve Rockwell, you seem to have a foothold in the community, an established business. You're well known. Why don't you contact Mark Milligan and put a sign up where your business is for Harry Milligan? Let's get one of those big signs up there. That's where your business is. A lot of people would see that sign. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for you to even tell the truth. I'm asking you to put a sign on your property. Would you do that? Mr. Rockwell, would you put a sign on your property? Mr. Maddie, Mr. Adler, what about you guys? You want some signs on your property? You want to look at that? I bet you can't. And that's why you don't do it. Mm-hmm. I bet you freaking can't. Because that would be real. That would be too real. Because you get to drive home and do your own thing with your own family. Thank you, Allison.
That guilty, that gut. Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, I couldn't handle it if I was guilty.
Wouldn't that make you sick every day if you had to see that? I think it would. Mm-hmm. But I'm asking you, if you had nothing to do and this was your friend and you were with him that night, put a sign up. Help us out. Get the word out. Use your platform as a successful business owner to help Mark Milligan find his brother. You know Mark. You know his family. We all know that. So I'm not asking for your money. Keep your damn money. Shove it up your ass for all I care. Just put a sign out. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Should ask their neighbors to do it. Yeah. I know that Mark is having signs printed. Spring is coming. And if anyone would like to put a sign in their yard, please contact Mark. We have been dropping the Facebook group for Harry Milligan. Please feel free to join that. Contact, ask, how you can help. You see it scrolling at the bottom. If you're so inclined, you like what we've done, you like the story, you want to help out in a way, please feel free to donate at Venmo at Bring Harry Home. The reward fund is over $15,000. Mark will write you a check. You can go right to First Iowa State Bank and donate there as well. This money does not go to Decipher Podcast. This money goes for Harry Milligan. We ordered more signs and bumper stickers. See?
Yay.
So they're coming. They are coming.
So we cover all bases. And to play devil's advocate, if people's reasoning for not speaking up is because it was so traumatic or, such a thing to process because maybe you witnessed something, but it deals with your friend, then I'll accept that to a degree, but then it's you unburden yourself now and start taking back control and don't let it bother you further, because as traumatic as it's been for anyone of his friends, I don't think it's quite as comparable to the trauma that it was like for Harry and what it's been like for his family and loved ones for the past 37 plus years. And so I'm just putting it out there because I don't want to call you out and say that you necessarily did something. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not accusing. Yes. And that's so important. Thank you for that. That's so important. No one's accusing you of anything. What I am saying is I think you know more than you've said. And I think you're
right.
I think you're sitting on information.
It's the knowledge that the things that you've seen, not saying it was your hands, but from just the things that you've seen, like that would be nice to be said.
Yeah, just talk about the night of. Just go into detail about what you did and where you were and where you guys, screwed around and what kind of beer did you drink?
Well, I've got no doubt that y'all remember going back to law enforcement and adjusting your story. So you can sure as hell remember bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be a perfect place for
we've told you enough already that what you said.
True. We gave you all the answers, so
yeah. Right? we've led the horse to water. I can't make you drink, but it would, I'm just going to leave this here. Like, Mr. Adler, put a sign in your yard. Oh, you live in the country. Oh, you live on the main. I don't know where you live. I don't give a shit. Put a damn sign in your yard. I want to see how that feels. I'll put one in my yard when you put one in yours. Okay. And I don't live anywhere near Iowa, but I will put poster sign. I will light that bitch up like it's Vegas in my front yard if it's going to help.
I'll pay to have one put on every corner in Albia. If two of those people would put one up on their own property. I want one. Your properties that you own. It doesn't have to be in your house. Just a property that you own.
Well, I think that place is a great place.
Or just let us know what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But just let us know what you know. That would help more than anything. That would lead us to Harry.
Go through the night with us.
Yeah.
Go through the night. You know what? Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. I'm calling you out. Man up. Oh, you wanted to talk all these years ago. You making sure you covered all those bases when you were hanging out with Stalker and running up to Mark and bullshit. Fess up. That's right. They need to fess up. I hate judging other people.
You have to probably parents yourself, such as some of you are. How you would plead to anyone if you were in this position. It's inexcusable.
And like I always say about sleeping at night, I don't know how the hell you all do sleep at night, because that's my problem. If I do something ornery or not right, I have to be able to sleep at night. So I have to correct my wrong. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know how the hell you can sleep at night. you have to be an evil son of a bitch to know something and not speak up. Just saying.
Well, that, and I think that explains some of the drug use with some of these people. I think that's why they drink. I think that's why they use drugs. Mark Milligan says, I will make myself available to sit down or Zoom with these three anytime. You don't even have to sit in the same room with me. We can do it right here on a platform like this, and the world can listen. Listen, we would treat you with the utmost respect if you just came forward and sat down and answered a couple questions. You know, or you just came forward and
the only thing.
Go ahead, crazy mama. I'm sorry.
The only thing we are going by is I think we have a lag, and I apologize if I keep interrupting to you. I'm so sorry because I think we're lagging. But the only thing is we are using your words. So if you have something, correct us. If we're wrong, correct us. But I'm using your words on that night. So how the hell did Harry go from there, you seeing his damn taillights, to him disappearing, vanishing out of that thin air? Like, that's where I have the issue, and that's why I keep coming at these dudes. That's my problem. That's where it keeps leading. So if you can correct me and I'm wrong, please come at me. Please have a conversation, because I'm just going by your words, dude. That's it.
I have a couple other questions really quick too. One is, does anyone know if Steve Rockwell went to work the next day? Number one. And
at the gas station?
Probably did.
Well, I mean, yes.
Potentially.
I want to know if someone else knows. Because while we're at it, let me show you, for those who don't know where the gas station is. If you don't live in Albia and you don't know, I think I have a good, well, I may be lying. I had a great picture of it. Well, son of a biscuit. Give me a second. The gas station that he worked at was diagonal to the Waterworks. So, I mean, visually, my understanding is he hung out with Mr. Stalker as well. I don't know that. Well, I guess I don't have that picture ready. I apologize, you guys. I swore I did.
You mean to tell me that gas station is across or catty corner-ish from Waterworks? So also small town. I would assume Rockwell, if you were going to work and if you look at that bar past soccer stuff, you really won't be, it wasn't until 6 or 10 years later that y'all actually talked about what happened where Harry might be, as in Alaska.
Right.
Yeah. Seriously, 6 to 10 years. And yet I'm guessing y'all probably at least passed each other on the streets a few times between July 1st, 1984, and however many years
Is she robotic?
Yeah,
probably.
she is.
All right.
Hi, Brayden. Welcome in. How are you? Steve Rockwell, Jeff Adler, and Doug Maddie, please. Or friends, if a friend of theirs knows, give us what you know. But again, if you're a weak ass individual, then how about
if you're scared of something, if you're scared of something or anything, that's okay too. We understand that grown ass men get scared sometimes, so at least put a sign up.
Well, that was so funny. Who leaves with softball gear and nothing of what they have at home and decides to go, and decides to do that at 4:30 a.m. Right. Which is interesting too, because someone else told me they played the game. They played the softball game, which I would like confirmation on that as well, because I'd like to know how you played without gear. Harry had all the gear. How'd you play the game? How'd you guys play that game?
Harry had all the gear in his big ass car.
Right. He was playing baseball in the car by himself. He was running the bases in the trunk.
Right.
Harry had all the gear. How'd you play the game? By the way, I want to know that Mr. Rockwell went home at 5 a.m. What time did you go to work? You must have been dead ass tired and hungover. That must have sucked. That must have sucked. Tell me you don't remember that day. Because you know what? I remember when I'm hungover.
Adler got home early because you didn't want Daddy to know, right?
Well, his parents, he has to be home by midnight because his parents
I knew
wouldn't let him
yeah.
stay out late.
Yeah. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, his parents wouldn't let him stay out late. So he had to go home early. So he probably wasn't hanging out with them as much. Liar.
And Maddie only hung out for 20 minutes
dude.
because he was with Tammy Hollenrake, Maddie, so he only hung out like 20 minutes, and it was after the bars closed. So Tammy Hollenrake, I'd like to speak with her. That's another one I'd like to speak with to know Maddie a little bit, because I just know by what I've been told and his story that I read that he actually gave. So I'd like to hear from Tammy Hollenrake let me know about Doug Maddie. I don't know anything about him. Can you help me with that?
Absolutely. I want to talk to, like I said, Mr. Rockwell. Put that sign up there, buddy. You can do it. You have the authority to do it. I'm begging you to do it. I'm not even asking. I'm begging you to do it. Okay? Put a sign. Put a big ass mother trucking sign right in that, right by that road that says, "Bring Harry Milligan home."
Yes, because apparently not everybody knows.
Not everybody in Albia. Clearly, right?
Right.
Speaking of mother truckers, speaking of them, by the way, we've been working on LFT has really been dedicating herself to this, and she's been working hard on this. It's kind of a family tree of loathsome characters. We're naming names. I'm calling everybody out. I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm sick of people hiding behind whatever they have to hide behind. I'm sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, this guy's not a bad guy." And then do you know what? So last week we did a live, or we named a name. I named a name. I said Larry Price. Is Larry Price a scary dude? Oh my goodness. Somebody came on and, "Oh, he's not a scary dude. Oh, he's a great guy. Oh, he's not scary. He's fine." Do you know how many messages I got saying, "Holy shit, that guy is scary as hell"? And then the stories that they told. Do you know how many messages I got? One guy. And then we named another one. And I got another couple of messages. I don't know if these people had anything at all to do with Harry Milligan's disappearance. But what I know is they were associated with a guy that I think had everything to do with Harry Milligan's disappearance.
Right. It points towards that guy, and they were associated with that person. And only one person came in that chat defending these two names, though. I will say that, because the messages we received was not defending those names.
No,
they agree with us.
And I made it really easy for that individual who came in so that they could be on my Facebook. So they're probably watching. So, hi. But we're naming names. Like, stop it.
Mhm.
I'm tired. You know what I'm tired of? You know what I'm really okay. So here it is. Before we get off, because I know we've been on here a long time, but you know what really pisses me off, and I'm gonna go off for a minute here. So grab your beers, take a sip, everybody get on board. But you know what really pisses me off? I'm gonna tell you that the three of us, with a couple other people who shall remain nameless, are working our asses off trying to find Harry Milligan. We stay up late. We take time away from our families, not bragging. And I'm not looking for anyone to say thank you. So stop that right now. That's not where I'm going with this. What I'm saying is we're working our asses off for you pieces of shit out there to hide under your blankets at night. That's what you're doing. You're hiding. You're hiding under your blankets and you're praying to God that we don't uncover or that one person doesn't talk. That's what you're doing. I'm working my ass off. LFT is working her ass off. Crazy mama taking time away from our families, taking time away from friends, because this is our labor of love. This is what we want to do. We love this. We live for this. And I'm not looking for accolades, you guys. So help me. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because while we're over here,
well, enough's enough.
Trying to work, like put things together and piece things together, and you have the knowledge and you can very easily say something to clear things up or point in the right direction, and you're not doing it. Oh Lord, if there wasn't children on here, I'm just saying. It's time.
I agree, Mark. The light is coming on, and it's shining bright because, like we said before, there's certain things that we don't say that we know, but it's pointing to the same person,
same
direction.
Mm-hmm.
Names are
and that
coming
person
out.
had a lot of associates.
And the thing
is,
if you don't want your shit coming out, right?
Yep.
Right. That's why we're going to start dropping names. If you want your story to be told in your own words, come to us, because the shit that we're being told, we're going to say it, and we're not scared to say it. I ain't scared of nobody.
I'll read your record. It's a public record. I'll read it all on here. And you know what? I have it for everyone. Everyone. When they do what happens to them, if they come forward and let's talk about that for a second.
Right.
It's a great question, Joyce. And I wish you could hear Mark's voice, because he's got this all planned out. Depending on what happens, if it leads to bringing Harry home, and that person had absolutely nothing to do with it, they just have the information on it, they can have a check. They can have $15,000. No questions asked. Boom, gone. Walk away. Tell us how you really feel. Right. I know. If they had something to do with it, I know Mark was trying to work on immunity. I don't know what that. I don't have an answer for that, and I don't know what that looks like. I can't answer that portion of the question. That's a law enforcement thing. I don't work for law enforcement. I don't care about law enforcement.
Our end's goal is to bring Harry home.
I work for Harry Milligan. That's
there
who
I go
work
again. I'm sorry. I know there's a lag, and I keep interrupting you, Tia. I'm so sorry.
Don't. I'm totally fine with it. You're completely fine. Yeah, Mark says he'll write a check as soon as Harry's located. I like I said, I don't know about how the immunity thing works. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not law enforcement. Frankly, I don't give a shit what happens after that. I just want Harry found. Oh, your 3 Pistol Annies. I love when she calls us that. I absolutely love. You have no idea. That means the world to me. I feel like I missed a part somewhere with this. Are Tammy and Denny related? They are. They are related. Mm-hmm.
I missed that question.
Elizabeth
Well, the
Wheatley.
only reason I mentioned Tammy, let me state this. The only reason I myself, because I'm the one that mentioned Tammy Hollenrake earlier, the only reason I mentioned her name is she was an alibi. She was used as an alibi from Maddie. So I needed to speak with her because she was
Mhm.
supposedly with Maddie that night, and that's why he didn't come into town until like 2:30 in the morning. So I
Mhm.
myself would love, or us girls, Mark, we need to speak to Tammy to hear about the
Confirm.
alibi, that he gave using her name.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'd like to know about Maddie himself. I want to know about what kind of person Doug Maddie was because, like I said, I'm not from the area. So fill me in. Tell me who this dude was. And Tammy could help me because she was dating him at the time.
She was
That's why I would
married
like
to
to
him.
speak with Tammy. Yeah, yeah.
She married him. The best way to create their own immunity is to contact a lawyer and provide the information to the lawyer. Then they're protected by client. There you go. There's the answer to that question. And that's really what I wanted to I didn't want to speak out of turn. If they had something to do with it, they should be put in prison. His family has suffered long enough. There are limitations on murder. I agree. But listen, for me personally, it's not about that. And I agree. I don't disagree with you. I agree 100%. His family has suffered. If they've suffered 15 minutes, they suffered long enough, but they suffered almost 38 years. I am not interested who did what to whom, and I don't give a shit about your drugs. I say that every single time I go live. Every single time.
Mhm.
I don't. I want Harry Milligan brought home. I want him honored. I want a place for his family to go and cry, laugh, pray, whatever they do that makes them feel at peace. That's what I want. That's my job. That's our job here, is to pick apart
Mhm.
your words. And guess what? We have. And I'll post them again.
Mhm.
I'll post them out here publicly on YouTube so that you guys can see. For those who are not in the group, you guys can see how the story's changed. And if you're gonna do shit like this, at least find one moron that's gonna be consistent.
Mhm. Right. Right.
Just find one moron that's gonna be consistent. You found the most inconsistent Three Stooges
Mhm.
in this story. So help me.
And going back to
So
Cheyenne Carter real quick,
oh yeah.
even not that they actually did something because we don't know, and we're not even saying that, but just maybe having knowledge of what happened and being told by the person that did it. That's
Mhm.
what we're even concerned with. Like, we would like to hear about that. Maybe they didn't have, actually, their hands didn't get dirty. I'll put it to you that way, but they have knowledge. I do know that.
Yeah, and that's, I'd be thrilled if your hands didn't get dirty. And I just, like I said, I'm pretty sure we know who the guy is. Just tell us where Harry
Right.
is. The rest I can sleep. I will sleep at night and I will sleep in peace.
Mm-hmm.
We all will. We will sleep a
And a
hell of a
dead
lot
man
better
can't
when
whoop your
Harry's
ass
brought
and do
home.
anything to you and make you disappear.
Huh? What did you say, crazy mama?
I said, and the thing is, a dead man can't whoop your ass and make you disappear like Harry did. So
Right?
there's that. Yeah.
Right. Right? But
Hmm.
a dead man's friends, they think it's cute to intimidate women.
I'm not scared,
Unfortunately,
like I stated.
I was gonna say you
You got
picked
the
the wrong three
wrong
to try to
three.
intimidate.
Right. These three bitches aren't scared of nothing, just so you know.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We believe in our right to bear arms.
Oh, yeah.
We believe in that right. We live for that.
Yeah, what my motto used to be is shoot first, ask questions later, but I'm just joking, but kind of.
She's only joking if you're not on her property. How about that?
Right.
The only time if you're on her property, she's not joking. She's not joking. I know that we ran pretty long tonight. I know that we have kept you all, and I'm so grateful for everyone who joined us and all the information. You guys have been amazing talking with us tonight and giving us information. And this is all we ever wanted, is to have conversations with you. This isn't a monologue. It's not a show. We're not putting on a show for you. We're not like, oh, this is our program. This is our show. We're not putting on a show. We're having a conversation. This is a dialogue between, all of us here. And you guys can help us, and you have helped us. And like I said, to those who have contacted us, thank you so much.
We couldn't do it without you.
We couldn't. And to those friends that I've made in the group, God, you are the best. You Iowa people are amazing. I'm coming to Albia to hang out because you guys are literally so much fun. You really are. And that's something that also needs to be said, is Albia, Iowa is a pretty cool place. If all of you are as cool as the way you've been treating us. Richard Davis is still alive in prison there forever. Yeah, Richard Davis is one of the names we're going to talk about too.
Right.
Currently in prison. Yeah.
But he's in prison, so what,
He's also 86. So again,
I'd worry more about us and the work that we're doing than those people.
It's not, and again, we're not being cocky. Please don't misunderstand. No. Our attitude isn't cockiness, and we're not like, oh, we're big and bad. We're not. We don't care.
I'm just tired of this shit. I am tired of this shit already. Like, yes, to find Harry, bring him home.
That's it. Harry Milligan needs to be brought home. You're welcome, Mark. You're most welcome. You and Lori and Harry are the reason we do this. And you are a pleasure to work for. And we're not stopping. We're just getting louder. And I'm getting pissier as I get louder. You can't wait for the next live? Well, stay tuned this weekend. I'll let you know. We'll have to come up with a day. It'll be Friday or Saturday. And we'll do a live together. And we're going to talk about some fun things. We'll truly have some... Listen, we've already ruffled feathers. Cheyenne, feathers are ruffled, sister. Yeah. Oh, I have no problem.
That's what I'm saying. Not everybody likes us, and we're okay.
Yeah, we don't do this for views or likes. You don't have to like us. In fact, you can dislike us pretty strongly. I'm okay with that. Put a sign in your yard and show us how much you dislike us. How about that? Put a sign in your yard. I challenge you. Oh, Mr. Wilkins, you are too. Time to expose some names. Time to talk about some things. And you know what? Time to have a little fun. I think it's about time to have a little fun. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to have a little fun with Harry.
With some information. Yeah, and some information that came forward. Yep.
We're going to have a little fun. And I think we will dangle the carrot in front of your face for a little while before we actually, and this is not to the chatters, this is to, they know who they are. We're going to dangle that carrot. You think, oh, they're bluffing. Those girls, they're bluffing. Those Decipher gals, they always bluff. Are we? Is that a chance you want to take? You want to take that chance? Cool. I'm a pretty good poker player. Am I bluffing?
So was Harry, apparently.
Am I bluffing? Maybe. Fun is always fun. That's right. And you know what? We can have a glass of wine. You can have your beverage of choice this weekend. Put your feet up and let's chat again. You guys tell us things, you know?
And ask some questions. We love questions. We'll answer some questions.
Send us down those rabbit holes, y'all. Send us down those rabbit holes. Ask those questions. Ask those, you know, oh, that's a dumb question. I'm not going to ask that question. There is no dumb question. There is no dumb question. Every question is super important and sends us researching down a different rabbit hole. And we live for that shit. So,
and one more time, real quick, Tia, one more time.
Yes,
anybody
ma'am.
that was at that party that night, please reach out to us. If you was at that party, reach out to us. We want to know who was at that party.
Oh, at the Coyote Run or on Spurgeon Street. Yes. I want anybody who was there, anybody who was in the bar that can give me a lay of the land of the bar, or who was potentially playing cards, or who was just a frequent card player, who thinks that, oh, you know, this guy always played cards there. You know, reach out, let us know. We just want to talk. This is just about conversations. It's about us listening and you talking. I talk a lot on here, but I'll shut the hell up if someone's willing to talk to me. I'm a great listener. I don't know. I'm, again, the bottom is scrolling with a donation, not for us, but to bring Harry home. Check out the group. Be respectful and kind to one another. Help us find Harry Milligan, please. I'm asking you nicely. Help us find Harry Milligan. Bring Harry home. And be safe this week. And we will talk to you guys over the weekend. Well, we're gonna bring you some more fun things. We're gonna talk about some more fun things. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Crazy Mama and LFT for all the hard work that they do constantly, night after night, day after day, all day. Thank you so much to both of you for everything. I couldn't ask for better friends. That's where I'm blessed.
I feel the same. You work your ass off too, Tia. You really do. We all work our ass off when it comes to, that's a 3 circles.
It is a labor of love, and I never want anyone to think that we're bragging, because I'm too damn. Believe it or not, I'm a cocky bitch, but I'm way humble too, and I'm never bragging about this. This is about bringing a soldier home. Okay, Lance Corporal Harry Dennis Milligan, 21-year-old U.S. Marine Corps reservist, went missing July 1st, 1984. Help us out. Have a good... Oh, how do you reach us? You can... Hey, can somebody drop
Facebook.
Our email? You can... I'd say it, but I fear it'd be robotic. LFC, can you drop our email address by any chance? You can friend... Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. That was so fast. You can reach us on Facebook. You can friend request me on Facebook. You can friend request either one of the ladies here. You can join the group, or you can email. I'll give you my number. You can call me. I don't care. Like I said, this is all about finding.
And Mark Milligan. You can reach out to Mark Milligan as well, his brother.
Absolutely. There's a lot of us who want to help, and that's what we're here for, is to help. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys over the weekend. We are so grateful for all of you. Have a great week, and thanks again.